You need to build up a thick skin in this marketplace, and you need to start slow, and you need to build up your data. So never skip out on journaling. You need to journal your trades. Start off slow, so low amounts. Don't buy a 200K account if you're just starting like trading for 2-3 months. If you want to buy something, start with a 10K, like a low amount of money, build up that resistance. And again, rushing it won't work. Trust me, it won't.
All right, welcome everyone to this interview with Tom. He's a funded trader with us here at The5ers. He's on a 100K high stakes account. He's been on this account for about a month, I think, and already has two payouts, and that's quite impressive for such a not very long time. 2 payouts. That's awesome. And most people, they getting funded is hard, but getting funded and then reaching one payout is much harder. And you've reached multiple payouts, so that's awesome. It shows that you obviously know how to trade. So yeah, Tom, how's it going? Give us a quick
I'm good. Yeah. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, thank you for. Oh, you got a little friend in the background as well.
Yeah, that's my dog. He's in the heat right now. But yeah, my name is Tom. Some people might also know me on social media as the OTE trader. I'm 32, started trading in 2019. I'm using ICT concepts as a trading technique, which I've started studying in 2021. And yeah, in about a year, I found consistency with it. Obviously, I've refined my ability to read price action a lot more since 2021, of course. But basically, all credit goes to Michael J. Huddleston, which is the founder of ICT Concepts, and I'm very grateful that I found him. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, we do have a lot of profitable experienced traders trading ICT. So was ICT the first thing that you've learned in trading?
No, I actually started with breakout trading, which was very painful. I'm not gonna lie, because I was almost always getting reversed upon. Because we typically, what we did was we watched the 30-minute chart. Then once a bullish candle formed, we took a buy once the 30-minute candle high got broken. So basically you're buying in the highest point of a candle, which is not typically what you want to do, at least not if you're trading ICT concepts. So yeah, I got reversed upon many times. Risk management was very poor as well. I had no clue how to partial or how to place my stop loss. That was all very vague in that way. And then with ICT concepts, you have a clear mechanical, or like they call it, algorithmic approach to the market. So you know where levels are, which should not get violated. So then you know where to put your stop loss, and the money management comes afterwards. I don't typically never risk more than 1%, especially not on a funded account. On a challenge is different. If you have a little bit of a buffer, you can increase your risk a little bit to finish off the challenge, in my opinion. But on a funded, definitely stay with like 0.5 or 1% maximum. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different strategies out there how to, pass evaluation accounts. I've seen some people, they risk like 0.5%, and then when they have a buffer of 2%, they can sometimes risk the whole 2%, and they kind of like to get to that target quicker. And yeah, breakout trading, I started, when I started to try out breakout trading as well, because I think that's something a lot of people like. They see price, they just break out and they want to enter right away. But the win rate is so low with breakout trading. It's difficult, mentally to handle that.
It's a very emotional way to trade, and you should not have emotions in trading. Of course, I'm happy when I win, and I am a little bit sad when I lose. That is normal, because it's in the end, it is money on the line. But if you're entering based on emotions, that's how the market is designed, right? It's one big game of psychology in the marketplace, and they will just know when to reverse and when people are getting excited to enter, and that's where they do their reversals. So yeah, I agree.
How long have you been trading? I'm actually watching your Twitter right now. It's the OTE trader.
Yeah.
It says that you've been trading ICT concepts since 2021. Was that when did you start to trade in 2021?
No, 2019 I started somewhere in August. I was actually on vacation, and I worked as a head chef in a kitchen. And one of my students actually said, if you want to make more money to the side of the job, you know, you should investigate the stock market or invest there. But if you really want to do like higher risk, you should go into Forex. You know, the leverage is a little bit higher. There's more potential. So I straight went to babypips.com, you know, like everybody does,
Nice. Yeah.
and just went through all the academies and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready because I passed every academy course, you know, in the babypips.com. So I was ready to go. Then I found myself a mentor. I watched YouTube live streams, which that was the Breakout Trader, of course. And then after a year, I got very frustrated. 1.5 years later, I've actually took a 3-month break in between as well. Corona hit as well, so
Yeah.
it was like I was just gonna focus on different things. But then started go like full grind mode on ICT concepts in 2021, and yeah, here we are. So I'm very glad. Yeah,
Nice. That's awesome. It sounds like a typical journey where you get introduced to the world of Forex, and then you think you're super ready, and you're like,
yeah,
this is easy. I can definitely do this. You can see yourself being a millionaire in a year. You start trading, you're like, wait a minute, it's there's a reason why, more than 95% people fail at this,
yeah,
That's the reason why, and that's why we're called the 5ers, right? Where the 5ers is the firm where we want to fund the top 5%, the people that actually make it in this industry, and you're definitely one of them. I think a lot of people watching here, they're interested to see, you know, what are you actually trading in how does it look? Maybe we can look at your dashboard with the
yeah,
5ers first. Can I look at your journey?
yeah.
Um, and
Let
then
me.
after that, yeah, go ahead and share your screen. I think I've got
Yeah,
everything activated to do that.
think you can see my screen over here.
Yep.
So yeah, I started this account. I bought one challenge, as you can see, just all the accounts are here. So I bought a challenge on 30th of April. So let's say it's start of May, right? I can open up this equity curve right here, see how it looks like. So started the
Nice.
account off a little bit, building up a little bit of buffer, but then I actually took a few losses, which is fine because it's part of the long-term plan, right? The losses are an expense of trading. So nobody has 100% win rate. And I got a 72% win rate on this one actually, so
Very
pretty
good.
content. Yeah. And then I just took all the high probability setups, and yeah, the equity curve was pretty clean in my opinion. So this was phase one, and phase two was actually a little bit more messy. Let me see over here. Yeah. So phase two, it took me 2 weeks or 1 week. Let me see. The start date was 4th of May, and the end date was 16th of May. So it actually took me almost 2 weeks to pass this one. The first one was really quick. This one also has around 50% win rate, so a little bit lower. But I try to secure around 2 to 3% per trade, and then you only need around 35% win rate, 40% win rate to be profitable. So it doesn't, in the end, it doesn't matter if you have a lower than 50% win rate, as long as you're securing more than 2R or 3R, then you should be good. So I had a little bit of a drawdown period over here. And this mainly happens also because sometimes I try to do a little bit more a scalping style intraday. But if I stick with my 1 hour and 4 hour narrative, most of the time I catch the biggest trades. So I definitely strayed away from that a little bit during this period. But then I caught this amazing buy up here. I think it was like a massive. Let's see. Yeah, that was a GBP CAD buys. I can show that in an example later on as well. And I finished off the account with Euro AD and gold actually. And then if we go to the funded account,
I just want to, first mention the evaluations here. So the first evaluation looks really, really good, with that equity.
yeah,
Did you, and then the second one a little bit messy, but it looks normal. You kind of have like winner, loser, and then all of a sudden you have a big winner, and that
yeah,
pushes the equity up. Would you say
yeah,
that like the first phase was obviously very clean, like that?
yeah,
You probably felt as well that was just perfect. 72% win rate, everything was going well.
Yeah.
Did you feel that going into the second phase, you had you had that confidence with you, and maybe that kind of screwed with your emotions?
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Sometimes if you go on a big winning streak, you can feel a little bit on top of the mountain, you know, so you're very confident. The moment you start to feel that you're invincible, that's when you get humbled real fast in the marketplace. So I always try to stay humble, not to get overly excited or think I'm at top of the world, you know, I'm the better trader than this person or that person. I think everybody has his own style, and you should not compare yourself to others because comparison is the thief of joy, and you will just hold yourself back if you start to compare yourself. There are Wall Street traders who do millions a day, so don't compare yourself to another social media trader, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not all clouds,
That's
you know.
very well said. I can't agree more.
Yeah. So
This is the funded one, right?
yeah, yeah. So this actually went deep in drawdown. So I hope you guys can understand that even though it looks like you might lose the account, you need to stay level-headed and stick with the system. So over here, I think I went up around 1800, and then obviously you get the what you paid for the challenge, it will be added as credit, and then you can withdraw. So I made around 2K. Then I made sure to withdraw that because I believe you should like make 1 or 2% on your first payout, so you can get your money back, so to say, and then you have your investment redeemed, right? So then you made some money, and then it's a 1 to 3 basically because you paid 500 or 1 to 4, and then you withdraw 2K, 2.5K. Then on the second one, I went into a little bit of drawdown, down 2%, not too bad, and then it went up again. And I think I did another withdrawal here. It was a small one, I think around $900. And then it went really south. This was mainly due to poor risk management. So putting too much size on a certain trade. And it actually went all the way down to minus 6.4%. So that's pretty deep for me personally, because I never go deeper than like a 3% drawdown or anything. 3 or 4% for me is already like, what am I doing? You know, I need to reevaluate what is going on. And this also had to do with trying to scalp intraday, right? So sometimes I find myself doing that, which I should not, and then just stick with the 1 hour and a 4 hour like I always do, and then you get these kind of trades, you know. And
Yeah.
then I took an amazing GBP JPY trade, which pulled my account back up until like -3. So I was down almost 7, then back to -3. So I had a good momentum going, you know. And then I just took 2 massive trades, really diamond-handed, so I held for longer than usual, and it paid off because it was a massive run. It was on EuroCat actually, a sell, and then afterwards I took a silver sell as well. That was last week Friday. There was also a massive sell-off. So yeah, and then I made 6.4K for the payout, and in the same time I get scaled up. So now I'm on this one. You can see the equity. This is the scaled up account. Had a loss yesterday, but redeemed myself today anyway, and I still have some floating P&L right now. But this one is up $250, but there's still some floating. So if it hits target, I'm up another 1,000 maybe. But yeah, you can see the equity is at 131, which is the credit that is on top of the account, right? And once I hit that minimum 3 days profitable, right, make 0.5% on a certain day, and then 3 times in a row or 3 times at all, you know, and then I can withdraw the rest. So that's what I'm basically aiming for right now. Make 3 profitable days, withdraw it, and then try to get another scale up, and that's the plan. And I will
Nice.
continue my best to do scale ups until I reach the salary point, of course, but that will take a while.
It's probably going to take a while, but I know. I mean, if you stick with these numbers, I mean, the numbers are good. I mean, the profit factor is above 1. You have a win rate of around 50%. It's looking really good. I feel like you know you've talked about your drawdowns, and you said that when you basically, I think like listening to you go through this, what you need to do is you stick to the 1 hour and the 4 hours. Stick to what you know works,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you know
yeah,
the way you should be trading. But then it's the same for everyone. Like We tend to break out of our plans sometimes, and we're like, ah, what if, look at that 5 minute structure. That looks so good, and you
Yeah,
take the
yeah.
trade, and then it's a loser, and you're like, what am I doing? I'm not supposed to be trading like this. So I think it's a good learning experience. You came into drawdown because of scalping, and you get out of that drawdown because you stick to what you know and what you should be doing. And I think that's people watching this will understand. It's the the faster you get out of those bad habits, the quicker you're gonna be profitable.
Yeah, I totally agree. And sometimes I'm pretty disciplined and patient, and a lot of my students know this as well. But sometimes you can fall a little bit into that habit like you had before, and I I wouldn't compare it to like a drug addict, but some people are gamblers and they will keep continuing this cycle because they don't break out of this system that is not profitable for them, but they feel like it will for some reason make them money, right? So always keep the discipline, stay patient, and don't deviate from the plan. That is the most important part, because if your plan is profitable and proven profitable, then why would you deviate from it, right?
Exactly. Maybe we can take a look at you have some examples maybe you want to
Yeah,
show, kind of break
yeah.
down the way you're trading.
Yeah, so this is, for example, this is a trade I took. I think this one finished off phase two. I'm not really sure. No, when was this? This was Friday, 3rd of May. Yeah, so this is challenge phase one, actually. So this finished off the phase one challenge. Typically, I don't trade NFP, but when the daily profile sets up perfectly and the draw on liquidity is very clear, so there was a draw on buy side liquidity, the price should deliver into buy side. We had a classic buy day template, which is ICT uses daily templates, so daily profiles to determine what is most likely to be the delivery. So you can determine what the previous session has done and can anticipate what the next session will do. So typically we mark out at 12 a.m. EST. That is our true day open with ICT concepts. If we trade below that New York midnight opening price, that would be considered an manipulation. And then if we trade above those highs again, we can form a breaker, as it is called. And then expansion should be higher. So we had a high impact news release, which is NFP. And that just means it will deliver faster towards the target because the algo is already predetermined where it will go. The news will just deliver it faster. And we like to use SMT, which is a cracking correlation between two markets or two assets. So we have Euro USD over here, but GBP USD did not take out this low. So they are correlated because they are both dollar pairs. And the one did not take out the low, and Euro USD did take out the low, so now we have a cracking correlation, which makes it higher probability if it's reversing. So we always want to have that cracking correlation first, and then we want to look for a setup. Same with GBP CAT over here. This was also a very good winner. I could have held longer, but you should never say I could have held longer because you are greedy if you say that, in my opinion. Because you take your 2-3R, that is your trade management, right? Don't start to think in I could have made so much more because you could have lost as well. So just stick with a 2-3R or whatever trade management you have. Same thing over here, right? Also a classic buy day template. SMT on the lows, which means the cracking correlation between EuroCAD and GBP-CAD. We're trading below that New York midnight opening line with an accumulation during Asia session, which is beautiful because this typically happens with a classic buy day profile. So Asia range consolidates, then there's a manipulation during London. So they're faking sellers, right? They're inducing sellers, and then they reverse them. And typically, when London manipulates and expands higher, as it has not taken out the buy side target yet, you will see a New York session retracement back to discount. That's where we use the Fibonacci, right? So we know everything below the 0.5 level will be discount. And price actually went into discount over here. You can just buy in discount wherever you want. You don't even need to have, as we call it, a PD array, right? A premium or discount array, which is maybe a fair value gap or a breaker or an order block. If you are in the correct dealing range, which is this discount and premium level, it will just move away towards your target. So do you want to get in early? You can straight up enter on the 0.5, or do you want to have a tighter RR, a better risk to reward? You go look for a lower entry. I just typically enter when it dips below 0.5 and a little bit deeper, and I don't like to enter on the 0.5. But if you're on the right side of the curve, you should just get your buy side delivery. Um,
I think
another,
that setup that you just showed. I think that's a setup I would take as well. It's super clean. You can
yeah,
also watch it like it's a break and retest as well. That 15
yeah,
minute bullish engulfing like that is on the 50. That's just, I think that setup right there is something a lot of people can replicate. They can
yeah,
definitely, and you know, it's also a retest of the range. That's the Asian range, I believe,
yeah,
the
correct.
accumulation. So I think that's a setup that I think people kind of should be studying because it encapsulates a lot of different trading styles.
Yeah,
It's a
and
very
this
good
is very,
one.
and you're very right about that because this is doesn't matter if you trade ICT concept or retail concepts or breakout or whatever. Um, Obviously breakout is not preferred, as you're saying,
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter what trading style is better. There's no better trading style. The psychology is the most important part. So this could be a break and retest. And in ICT concept, this might be a manipulation or an AMD schematic, as we call it, because it's accumulation into manipulation lower and then a distribution higher. So it's
yeah,
AMD. Doesn't matter what concepts you're using. If you use proper market structure, I think you should be good.
yeah,
Uh, I also want to touch on a loss I took because it's not all winners, of course. I've got this loss over here. We wait always for SMT between two correlated assets because when that cracking correlation happens, it makes it higher probable for a reversal with ICT concepts. And I typically wait for candles to close above down close candles if we are bullish, because those down close candles should be used as a support level, which are an order block, to continue pushing up higher. The mistake I made over here, there was still a bearish fair value gap here, which is an indication it can go lower from here. And this one did not get traded above, so this did not get violated. So this was for me going in a little bit too early, as I should have waited for us to close above this fair value gap here. So this, I would say, I think it might be the patience part which made me take this loss, because you can see on the right side of the screen what happened afterwards. And I was
yeah.
pretty, I gotta admit, I was pretty salty about this one because I know I went in too early. It burned me, it humbled me fast, and I mean, this can happen. This is just a
Yeah, and
mistake, you know.
that's a difficult one as well because I mean you could have gotten in later as well, but I mean there's really I mean I can see stop loss getting hit anyway. There's a lot of wicks down there.
Yep.
I think this I mean for me I would probably I mean this would probably have been a stop out even if you tried something else because of the like there you see multiple wicks down there. It's very
Hmm.
difficult to get in on a trade like this and have because you need to have such a wide stop loss, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, typically I like to use like minimum 8 pips, like and I prefer 10 to 15. So over here you can see is 28 was the entry price, or well, somewhere over here, or 31, so it's like 8 pips, but typically I do like a 10 to 15 depending
yeah,
on where the key level is. But yeah, I could have definitely had a little bit of a wider stop, but everything was lining up with the SMT, and I just didn't wait long enough. So, but yeah, it's part of the game, right?
it is. It is.
Now this is the redemption trade, GBP JPY, sniper entry. I was down 7% on that account, like I just showed on the dashboard, right? And this one really pulled it back. Typically I don't hold that long, but I always like to target relative equal highs over here as a clear resistance level, right? On if we use retail concepts, this is a classic level. And this is always what I try to target. If I see relative equal highs or lows or a trend line, that is for me my draw on liquidity. So I want to trade towards that area. We had a pretty tight consolidation over here, and then it started to manipulate lower. Um, but the displacement, what happens upwards, so you're leaving a gap over here, right? The displacement is indication it's gonna go in one direction. Not always, but it is a good indication it is displacing towards where it wants to go. And the same thing, you could pull, I don't have the Fibonacci on here, but if you pull the Fibonacci from this low to this high, this went into discount, so below that 0.5 level, into the fair value gap, and then I just took it, and it ran, I think, 120 pips or something. Can't see the numbers to the right now, but
Yeah, that's a
uh,
really, really good trade.
yeah. So this was This was a really good redemption trade, so this got me in a positive mindset. And then I think, yeah, this was the framework on the 15-minute as well. So this is the same trade where it went higher from, but this is a 15-minute chart. Manipulation below the New York midnight opening price. Took out all the sell side down here, the SMT, right? So that is a cracking correlation again. Always look for cracking correlation before I try to find a setup. And the higher time frame was bullish anyway. As we can see, JPY pairs are just blasting up without any consideration of human life. So over here we've got, this is actually a massive sell we took, Euro cat sells. We like to use market maker models with ICT concepts, which means there's one side of the curve. So over here I have a little schematic, which is buy side of the curve, so price is going up. And we have sell side of the curve, so price is going down. And there's always a consolidation, which start off a market maker model. And there's an accumulation phase in between. And then the smart money reversal, as we call it, where it just, so the price reverses over there. It happens in a key level. And there has to be SMT as well. I did not outline it here, but there's SMT on these highs. I entered actually 2 positions on this one. I entered on this order block, which formed on this particular day. I still put my entry above the 50% of that order block that was resting there, because that should not really get exceeded if you are bearish. And then I took another entry based on the lower time frame, which was a 15-minute. Again, entered a little bit too early as well on this one. But if you enter a little bit too early, but you use your stop loss on the higher time frame level, which I use the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you should never get hit, or at least with high probability, you should not get hit. So I also outlined here, I should have entered here because this is actually where the SMT formed. Then it broke down structure and then it went back into that premium level again, right? So for another sell-off. And I did not hold until the original consolidation, which you should technically do in a market maker sell model. But I was content because I was up like 5.5% or something. So I'm not gonna greed for another 2% when I'm in drawdown, you know. So just secure that you're back above your balance. Get that positive feeling back again, because you're not seeing that balance in drawdown, but you're seeing it up 2%, 3%, you know. So don't hold a 5.5 or 6% trade and then believe you can catch another 2% or 3%. Very bad for your psychology, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you make if the market, I mean that's a strong, fast, big move as well. So I think if the market gives you that move, you'll just take it. You know, it's you'll be happy that you got it, and you got to pay yourself as well. You know, reward yourself
Yep.
for taking the trade.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
good.
Always pay the trader. That's very important. I think I
All
have
right.
one more. I have
Yeah,
one more
let's take a
example.
look at let's take a look at one more.
This is the silver sell I took last Friday. Same thing. Every time it's the same thing. The model is the same thing. You wait for a cracking correlation. You wait for higher time frame order flow to be in line with your drawn liquidity, break of structure. And now this is the cleanest I've seen silver move ever, because it just made like a nice displacement back into premium again, another displacement back into premium again, and you can enter wherever in premium here. Doesn't matter.
That's
It will
perfect.
just. And this was just an amazing rundown. I could have held for another, I don't say could have, of course, but I could have held for like double the size of this, but this was my scale up. So I was like, I'll just secure the scale up and then we'll look for another trade. There's always another trade.
All right, man. We're running out of time here, but I would like
Yep.
to first ask you if you have any tips for new traders that are getting an evaluation account, and also where can people find out more about you? Where can they follow you on social media and all that fun stuff?
Sure. A big tip I have for newer traders is stop rushing the process, because you need to build up a thick skin in this marketplace, and you need to start slow and you need to build up your data. So never skip out on journaling. You need to journal your trades. You need to start off slow, so low amounts. Don't buy a 200K account if you're just starting like trading for 2-3 months. If you want to buy something, start with a 10K, you know, like a low amount of money, build up that resistance. And again, rushing it won't work. Trust me, it won't. So
yeah,
stay patient.
That's really, really great advice. Don't rush it, and definitely keep a journal. Very important stuff.
And if you guys want to find out where I'm at social media on Twitter, it's @the OTE trader. I'm also on Telegram. If you want to see all the way back to 2021 my progress, I've like put thousands of charts there in my Telegram. It's also the OT Trader. The channel's called OT's Chart Lab. So yeah, if you want to find out more, you can go to these two channels. And I'm also a mentor to many. So if you feel like you're not progressing, I'm here. So
Nice. Yeah, definitely check it out. I see you're on YouTube as well with the OT Trader.
yeah,
So
correct.
definitely worth checking out. All right, man. I would like to thank you for joining us here today and doing this interview. Really interesting stuff, and I wish you all the best in your continued trading journey. And I hope to have you trading with us for a very long time.
Yes, same. And thank you again for having me.
Take care.
Take care.
Hi guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all go into the YouTube and check our other content that we provide here at The 5ers. We'll see you in the next one.